Hi there everybody, this is David, and come with me on a journey to hell. Literally! Because in today's sponsored video, we're going to be checking out Devil Jam, a rhythm, roguelike, bullet hell kind of game that's not only completely chaotic, but more importantly, completely fun, even if I am also completely terrible at it. This is like one of those games that was built from tons of community feedback after all these people played the demo, which is always great to see because it means the developers actually listened and cared enough to improve the experience. And I definitely do think that's worth the sub as you come and you join my party and you level on up with me. All your likes, your hypes, and your subs help me out so much. Thank you really from the bottom of my heart for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. Before we do get started going through this game, I do just want to kind of remind you that back in the day, in the NES and the SNES eras, I played all sorts of games. I played space shooters, platformers, games like Mario, Kirby, or Street Fighter. But I also don't think that I really ever played anything quite like this, so I definitely do want to go ahead and tell you all about it. The first thing that you want to keep in mind is that this is not some sort of deep JRPG saga or story-driven epic RPG. This here is more of a palate cleanser type of game, a little game that you can play and have a blast with between tackling your backlog of massive RPGs, cause sometimes you all know, you just need a break from saving the entire world. Plus there's even a 10% launch discount for the first 2 weeks, which makes jumping into hell a little bit easier on your wallet. And if at any time during this video you would like to see and check it out for yourself, then please just click the links below to pick it up and see what it's really all about. I've said before that this is a rhythm-based game, which I am notoriously terrible at. I'm a white boy from the sticks of Georgia, and I have no rhythm whatsoever. But that's okay, because you really don't need any in order to play this, because you attack automatically to the beat of the music, which is perfect, because this soundtrack is just begging you to rock on out. You can even enable or disable an auto-aim option in the settings, depending on whether you want full control, or you just want to vibe. And speaking of vibes, the soundtrack is composed by an award-winning composer, so you're getting some seriously high-energy tracks built to melt demons. Not only that, but everything from the enemies to the bosses is entirely hand-drawn, giving the game its own distinct chaotic cartoonish flair. And as you do mow down those hordes of enemies, you're going to be starting to unlock talents. You've got your weapons, which come with a variety of effects. It'll tell you if it's ranged, area of effect, and what it actually does. And weapons will fire once every 4 beats. But you can equip up to 4 different weapons, so you'll be firing them off every single beat. Then there are abilities, and these essentially kind of power up the weapons and boost the weapon's effectiveness. You can place your weapons wherever you would like on this 4x3 grid. Then, depending on where you place your abilities, those will affect different slots, which you can clearly see as you choose them. It might power up the weapons or increase the range or the amount of projectiles or something like that. Then as you continue making your way through hell, slaughtering every single demon in sight, you'll also gain passives, which you don't have to place into the grid. They just kind of work automatically, and you can have up to 7 different passives equipped at once. They'll do stuff like knock enemies back or apply vulnerable status ailments. And with more than 180 quests giving you all sorts of different challenges, there's always a new objective tempting you to go for one more run. And the whole loop is all about survival. Dive on into the circles of hell, defeat some enemies, pick up gold and spirit orbs, and then use those to unlock even more weapons, talents, and passives until you inevitably die and start all over. Now this here is a roguelike, so as you do dive on into hell and then inevitably die, you will lose all of your different weapons and passives and abilities, but you will retain all of your experience and gold and other stuff like that, so each time that you do dive on in, it'll get a little bit easier. Not only that, you'll be taking on quests from the devil himself as you work your way through the 9 circles of hell. It could be anything from staying alive for a certain amount of time, dealing a certain amount of damage, or defeating a certain amount of enemies. There's so many different quests. And the more quests that you complete, the more areas in the lobby that you'll unlock. Like the dressing room, where you can pick out a different character. You've got your main character, Falco, who's all about high damage and high health. Or there's Amy, who has less health, but a pretty sweet ranged smoke ring weapon that hits a large area. So once I unlocked her, I gave Amy a shot, and honestly, I liked her more. Her weapon clears the entire screen rather than just what's in front of her, and she has some really cool power-ups, like swinging a bat in a 360-degree arc, shooting out little arrows at the nearest enemy too. Sure, she does have less health, but the ranged attack always fits my style. Normally in games like these, I always go for the archers or the mages rather than the close-range fighters anyway. So I'm down there like running for my life and dodging bats and slimes and demons, you name it, because they're all coming for you. But the more weapons that you get and the more buffs that you get, the quicker that you'll be able to destroy them and then rake in those glorious experience points and gold. And if you're ever in a tight spot, and believe me, you will be, you can just hit the L2 button for a justice dash and get out of dodge. And I had to use that thing all the time, because these enemies just love surrounding and cornering you. But don't just run around aimlessly, because there is a mini-map in the upper right-hand corner. The red dot indicates you, and the blue dots are like special things to activate. You know, stuff like energy drinks, buffs, or other goodies. There's a lot to handle as you're constantly juggling dodges, attacks, buffs, trying to grab those blue spirits and experience and gold, and just kind of like staying alive to try and beat your personal records. It is fast, chaotic, but also surprisingly satisfying at the same time. Because sometimes you just kind of like want that mindless fun. After surviving for 10 minutes, which is no easy task, a boss will appear. And let me tell you, these bosses ain't messing around. They'll be shooting bullets, telegraphing their attacks, jumping all over around the screen, throwing bombs, the whole gamut. It is chaos everywhere. And I will be the first to admit that while I'm not all that great at games like these, it still did keep me coming back for more. Yeah, it's stressful, it's hectic, but it's also like ridiculously fun. There are 4 total bosses in the game, though only 3 will show up in any single run, which does keep each session feeling unpredictable and fresh. There's also a merchant that you can go to buy permanent power-ups too, so the more gold that you get, the more health, attack power, speed, luck, all that kind of stuff that you'll be able to buy as well. This here is like the perfect little game to veg on out between your epic jrpg campaigns. After you die, and you know you will, you'll get to see your stats and how you did, the time that you spent down in hell, the money that you earned, the demons that you killed, all sorts of juicy information. And side quests will keep on opening up. You don't have to like accept them to complete them. For example, I took the Perseverance quest, survived for just 3 minutes in a run, but at the same time, I also completed the Beauty of Annihilation quest by defeating 100 enemies while I was down there surviving, which then unlocked the Flying Abomination quest. So that there became my next goal, only for like a million more quests to open up on my very next run. And hey, if you do pick it up through my link, try and beat my fastest boss clear time or the highest damage run that I have, because I guarantee you'll definitely do better than me. So if you want a quick, chaotic, and satisfying survival game along with rhythm-based combat, fast-paced action, endless combinations of weapons, talents, and passives that you don't have to like think too much about, then this here is definitely the game for you. Devil Jam releases on November the 3rd for the PC, with console ports coming soon, and again, it is 10% off during launch, so now really is the best time to jump in. So if this chaotic, guitar-swinging, demon-slaying rhythm game sounds like your kind of jam, pun intended, please do pick it up using the links below to support the channel. And hey, if you also enjoyed watching me like stumble around hell, level on up and join my party by subscribing and leaving a like and a hype, because I promise you more chaos, more laughs, and hopefully a lot less hellfire in the next video. Have a good day.